Hi friends, I'm Abby and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought we would do a video called If You Like This Book, Then I Think You Should Watch This Booktuber. I saw this video on Elliot Brooks' channel. She did it a few months ago now. I thought it was a good way to recommend some of my friends. So if you like any of these books, and a lot of these books are books that I really enjoy, then I think you would really enjoy watching these booktubers. I thought we'd just dive right in. So I think that if you really enjoy Malice by John Gwynne, then you should be watching Leslie over at The Nerdy Narrative. So Malice is an epic fantasy story set in the Banished Lands. It's very much like a good versus evil. There's a prophecy. There are like gods which have their champions and avatars upon the earth called the Black Sun and the Bright Star. It's all like fighting for dominance over this land, and it's like the battles going on between humans and its giants, and it's all just very epic, I'd say. John Gwynne does a great job at describing characters and character interactions and like building up the tension and the battle scenes. I don't know how he writes these battle scenes, but they're so vivid. He does a really good job at describing battle scenes and tension and swords and all of that. But there's the characters in here as well. Like, it is very action packed, and I really like the way that he writes characters. They all feel so real. Like, some of them you love and you love them like to pieces, and some of them you hate and you would never ever want to come across them. I really like this, and Leslie also really likes this. So I think that this book matches up with Leslie really well. Leslie at The Nerdy Narrative, she is very good at selling books to me. So our tastes, we really match up on the Faithful and the Fallen series, but some of the time we really don't match up. Like, she loves Rage of Dragons. I'm not a massive fan of Rage of Dragons. She reads a lot of horror. I don't really read horror. But when we do match up, we really match up because we both love this series. And so I'd say if you are after recommendations like Malice with this like epic fantasy, and also if you are after recommendations of horror, yeah, more fantasy like this. If you're after horror recommendations, if you're after manga recommendations, then definitely head over to Leslie's channel. She is the best, and she has the cutest intro as well. You just like get right into, you're watching a Leslie video when you hear her intro. If you like anything Sarah J Maas, like me, because I love everything Sarah J Maas, and I'm very biased towards all of her books, then I think you should also watch Vish from Books with V, and she, like me, loves everything Sarah J Maas. So we're both very similar in that regard, that we both love everything by this author, and we both really enjoy the mixture of fantasy and romance that she combines within her books. So Vish and I'd say we have pretty similar reading tastes in that way, that we both really enjoy anything Sarah J Maas. And I think our fantasy tastes align pretty much as well, that we both really liked Jade City, we both liked The Poppy Walk, we both really liked From Blood and Ash and this. So I'd say we have quite similar tastes. And she's also like the cutest soul ever. Like, she has, I don't think she's worn them for a little while, but she has these dungarees and they just look so cute. Dungarees, I think it's an English, like British term, so overalls I think is the American term, but dungarees sounds so much better than overalls, and they're so cute, and her aesthetic is just beautiful, and her accent as well. Like, I would love to just be able to hang out with Vish in Australia. She is the best. So if you really like anything by Sarah J Maas, then I would highly recommend Vish's channel for that. If you liked Anxious People, and this wasn't my favourite book, but it is the favourite book of Mare from Mare Reads. She loves Frederick Bateman. Frederick Bateman, I think, is one of her favourite authors, and I'd say that Mare has a very eclectic reading taste, that she reads a lot of genres, and she reads a lot of books overall. Like, the amount of books she reads in a month is insane. I don't know how she finds the time to read as many books as she does, but she really likes Anxious People, and I think some of the aspects that she likes in this, you can see in her other taste of books, that she really likes books that have messages. So I know that you are following a bank robbery gone wrong because they're trying to rob a moneyless bank, and so they suddenly end up running off into a house viewing, and they end up having a hostage situation. It's all very bizarre and all a bit just outlandish, but then you're following everyone in this hostage situation and seeing their lives and seeing what they're like, and all of the, I guess, real real world, normal life struggles that everyday people have. And I think Mare really likes having books that have messages like this. So Frederick Backman's books, I believe, all have deeper messages that they are talking about, and they're quite emotive. At the same, I know that she has just read The Midnight Library and really enjoyed that, and that also has these deeper messages. So I think she has that preference in her books to enjoying these messages and these lessons that literature can give you. But she also reads a lot of YA. She really likes YA fantasy, that I've noticed. So if you enjoy things like Cassandra Clare, if you like Where Dreams Descend by Jenna Anderson, or if you like pretty much anything, Mare will have given it a go, because she reads literally everything and she has the most creative vlog ideas. So her mind blows my mind because of how creative she is. She is always coming out with really creative vlogs. So if you want someone that reads literally everything and has the most creative content out there, then I would really recommend going to check out Mare's channel. And also, if you enjoy contemporary books, then definitely Mare is the one for you. If you are very much on the side of really loving fantasy, then I would check out Gregory the Purchase channel, and he is a massive Sanderson fan. So if you really enjoy Brandon Sanderson, then I would check out Gregory the Purchase channel, because he has videos on so many of Sanderson's Cosmic books that I'm trying to remember what he has now, but I think he's got like his ratings. He has whole sections in his Discord which are completely dedicated to Sanderson and his books, and he will be happily talk about everything to do with Sanderson and the Cosmere and everything to do with it. I actually think Wallbreaker is one of his least favourite ones, but it's one that I had on hand to talk about. But if you really enjoy Brandon Sanderson and you want to talk about it more, if you want to theorise about the Cosmere, and if you want to just go in depth about everything to do with Brandon Sanderson's books, then definitely head over to Gregory the Purchase channel and his Discord. He is currently reading Skyward, and I think that there's chats up for both Skyward and Starsight in his Discord, so if you're interested in talking about them, then definitely go check that out. He is also very much into political books, so like real world politics, which isn't me at all. But if you're very much branching out of fantasy and you're going into fact, then he reads definitely like one fact book, one non-fiction book a month, if not more than that. He really enjoys looking at the real world and exploring that. So if you're interested in either like epic fantasy or non-fiction, then definitely check out Gregory's channel. He's also a massive troll and hates all British people, so I don't know why we're friends. Well, I do, but I don't. If you like fact and non-fiction, then I would recommend checking out Alicia Guzman's channel. And she does read a very wide variety of genres, but she reads a lot more fact than I do. So she reads memoirs and non-fiction and really incorporates that into her reading alongside fantasy and thrillers. And she reads very diversely, and she has a very eclectic taste in books. The one she talked about most recently was Invisible Women by Carolina Criado Perez. I really liked the way she talked about this. She talked about it in her December wrap-up, and she has this both in Spanish and English, depending on which language you would prefer to watch her videos in. She speaks both English and Spanish. And this book, you are seeing all of the data biases in the world, and seeing how the world is designed by men for men, and how much of it is not designed for women. I don't know if it is still like this now, but like airbags and driving in, like the test dummies that they use in cars, they have all been done on men. And when they did do them on women, they just shrunk the dummy down. So they didn't like change the physiology of the dummy. They just made a smaller version, and that was the woman. And they didn't test women in the driver's seat. They just tested them in the passenger seats, because they presumed that men would always be driving. So this is why like a lot of cars aren't designed for women's bodies. You never realise. And like PPE is all designed for men. So you end up with like people that work in the police force, women whose bodies are damaged and have suffered traumas because the PPE didn't fit them properly. And you're like, I just didn't realise how much of this world is designed for men, and like down to the smallest details are all designed for men, and it's crazy. I mean, I think this book might appeal more to women than it does to men, but it's probably very educational for men as well as for women. But yes, if you enjoy these non-fiction type books, then I would definitely recommend checking out Alicia's channel. And then the final book and person that I would like to recommend today is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and this was one of my favourite books of last year. I absolutely loved this, and it was I think it's my favourite V.E. Schwab book. And it's very different to her other books, but I absolutely love this, following the story of Addie LaRue and the deal that she makes with the darkness to live forever, but then is consequently forgotten by everyone as soon as she leaves the room, and then just her story and her life and 300 years of her life as she ages and doesn't really age, because she is immortal now, and this deal that she's made and the consequences of that deal. And I loved the way this was written. I loved the poetic language of this. Another person that absolutely loved this book, I think the same amount as me, is Jessie from The Bookish Mum, and we actually did a discussion video of this over on Megan from Megan's Reading Revelations channel, and we both absolutely loved it. I think we all did. Everyone that was involved in this discussion absolutely loved this book, and we all really thoroughly enjoyed it. But I would definitely say that if you like this book, then you should definitely check out Jessie's channel. She reads a lot of fantasy, like me, and I think, like me, she enjoys these sort of poetic books, which I think both of us are like, do we enjoy poetic books? Do we not enjoy poetic books? But like, we both really enjoyed this, and we both really enjoyed The Starless Sea, which are both very sort of poetic, poignant books, which which can be a little bit tricky to recommend because they are a bit slower, and they are more lyrically written, which can be very hit and miss for people. And I was very nervous when Jessie was reading The Starless Sea because it is so hit and miss with people, but we both seem to have really enjoyed that, and we both absolutely loved this story, and we both would definitely reread it because of how much we really enjoyed it and the messages that it portrayed. So I would highly recommend Jessie's channel if you enjoy this. She also has the cutest vlogs with her family and her 2 young children, which are very, very cute, and you're just like, oh, your family is so adorable and lovely, and that seems to be like the best mum. The amount of time and love that she has for her children is amazing to see. Here are a few books to booktuber recommendations. If you like this video and if you want me to do this again, then I would love to do this again, because when I was doing this I found it so hard to only talk about a few booktubers, because I was like, but I want to talk about everyone. I want to like shout out everyone, but it's so hard to do that, and I wanted to keep this not to have too many, because I wanted to give the booktubers like the best endorsement that I could. So I would absolutely love to do this again, especially if you enjoyed it, because there are so many other booktubers that I watch and really enjoy, so I would definitely love to share my love for them as well. So thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in my future videos. Bye!